Hey, how's it going? My name's Alan. If you're here, you're probably quite interested in what you can and can't eat when you're trying to go low carb. So whether that's standard keto, LCHF, lion diet, or just plain old low carb, it's good to know what foods contain carbohydrates and the level at which they do that. And so a little while ago, I'll introduce myself. My name's Alan. I've been doing a low carb for roughly 5 years now. Back in when I was mid 50s, I guess, I was 123 kilos, it's like 270 odd pounds, and had really high blood pressure, high blood glucose. So I was type 2 diabetic. So by adopting a low carb diet, I managed to reverse all those things and drop nearly 23 odd kilos in 4 months by following along with the low carb stuff. So I've got nothing to sell, no courses, no paid memberships, no nothing. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll show you where you can get hold of a copy of what we're looking at today. So when I started low carb, I went through and obviously made a list of what I could and couldn't eat, and really in a easy to recognize or easy to understand format that I could just stick on the fridge. So what we're looking at here is that guide. So as you can see, there's a traffic light system here: red, yellow, green. So red is no, don't avoid at all costs. Yellow is caution, so it's kind of mid to low carb content. So okay in moderation, but best avoided if you want to go hard. And then the green is go baby. Lots of stuff on here, so it doesn't have to be tedious or boring. So let's rip into it. So below ground veg, there's a lot of stuff in there that's you need to be quite cautious of. So carrots at almost 9%. 9% carbohydrate. So what these charts are the carb content of 100 grams. So a lot of these you wouldn't eat 100 grams in one go, but it just gives you a percentage as a guide. So if we roll down through the root veg, then as you can see, we've got some red here: Jerusalem artichokes, parsnip, potatoes the biggie, best avoided at all costs. Then you've got some that are okay, like daikon, radish is good, turnips not too bad, but other stuff like yams, water chestnut is all kind of borderline. Now the good news is meat and fish are pretty much all green. So everything you've got down there is beef, chicken, turkey, pork, venison, lamb, bison, salmon, shrimp, crabs, lobsters, scallops, whitefish are all effectively 0 grams of carbs, unless you look at like scallops are 4 grams. Again, nothing to worry about. So, and you don't tend to eat like a massive huge bowl of scallops. So your meat and fish is pretty much in a safe zone. And then the above ground vegetables again are mostly okay. Globe artichokes is a bit borderline, but like who'd want to eat that rubbish anyway. Asparagus is good, we eat a lot of that. Beans, cauliflower, cabbage, green cabbage is my go-to. Like green cabbage shredded, cooked with a little bacon and garlic, fried off. It's just a great thing to have with a steak. You can pretend it's noodles if you like. Lots and lots of like green. Fennels, yeah, nice. That's getting up there. Kohlrabi, like who would I eat that anyway? Lettuce, go for your life. So white onions getting up there, I guess, but normal onions, fine. Put peas in the red section here, so they're almost 10% sugar, or 10% carbohydrate. So I still have a few peas, but not a huge amount. So pepper's all good. Pumpkin, surprisingly, is quite low, because it can be quite sweet. Sweet corn, 20% carbs, so probably best avoided. Tomatoes, go for your life. Zucchini as well. Fruit is almost exclusively a no-go zone, just absolutely packed with sugar. With I guess the exception of avocado, we let that creep in, mainly because it's got a good oil fat content that makes that good. Blackberries, again, 10%, so borderline. Melon, again, if you're going to eat anything, then cantaloupe or rock melons, probably a good option. Cranberries, packed with antioxidants, just 4 grams, so that's again, and whether you'd eat 100 grams of cranberries in one go, I doubt it. Grapefruit, again, that's kind of good. Lemon is very low, but obviously you'd expect that because it's very sour and acidic. But a few drops of lemon in water with your meals is said to be a good idea, depending on who you listen to, is a good idea. Lemon and lime, obviously, good. There's some hideous stuff here. Mango, God, love mango, but 17% sugar. And rhubarb, actually grow rhubarb at the back, so that's surprisingly good. Again, it's not sweet, so cooking that up with a bit of monk fruit sugar makes that quite a good option. And watermelon as well, quite sweet but not a massive carb count. Bread, rice and pasta. That's pretty much the downfall of modern society. It's why I guess most of the adult population is carrying more weight than they'd prefer to. So when you look at the carb content, so white bread, you don't think, oh, that's not very sweet. There's not much sugar in that, but it's almost half carbohydrates, which convert to sugar. So white bread, and they say, oh, whole wheat or brown bread is a better option. It's not, marginal, but it's still half, 50% or 45% carbs. Bagel, even worse. Croissants, lots of butter in there, which is nice, but the flour and so forth just pushes it right up there. Sourdough, spaghetti, sorry, but that's almost a quarter sugar once you eat it. Same with macaroni, penne pasta, noodles. So white rice is another one. You think, oh, that's not very sweet, but standard bowl of white rice that you might have with some Asian chicken or some curry or something. 28 grams, so you're looking at what's that, how many teaspoons, or 5 or 6 teaspoons of sugar in a in 100 grams of white rice. Brown rice, you think that'd be healthier? It's not. Same deal. Any of the rice, couscous again, same deal. Quinoa, again, who'd eat it? But it's it's just high carb. Not sure what bulgur is, but it's not good either. Corn, flour tortillas, gone. Udon noodles, ramen noodles, ravioli. The whole lot's all completely well and truly in the red zone. So avoid if you can. Well, just avoid it. Just don't eat it. So snacks, chocolate obviously, massively in the red zone. My go-to beef jerky. That's my little snack passion. That's fine. Turkey jerky, fine. And pork rinds. So the old pork crackle is perfect. So that's pretty much zero carbs. Potato chips gone, tortilla chips gone, popcorn, wow, 74 grams gone, trail mix gone, granola, cheese crackers, pretzels, rice cakes, fruit snacks, fruit roll-ups, all that sort of stuff. Nightmare. So sweeteners, a lot of people say, okay, we'll ditch the sugar and then use a sweetener. So again, it's some have got a high carb content, like agave nectar. Obviously honey, maple syrup, coconut sugar, molasses are all massively, all over 3/4 sugar, carbohydrate. So we wouldn't go near those. So my go-to, stevia just gives me a bit of an aftertaste. I don't get on with stevia at all. Erythritol, that's okay. Again, it's sort of health food shop stuff. And this is a strange one. Xylitol I thought was really, really good, but it's almost pure carbs, which is, a bit bizarre. So my absolute favourite go-to sweetener is monk fruit extract, monk fruit sugar. I think the brand we have is called Lakanto, and it comes in sort of fine white powder, a bit like icing sugar, and then sort of grades up to mimic caster sugar, and then also brown sugar. There's a version of that as well for cooking. 0 grams of carbs, so that's my absolute 100%. We do get people drop by that have a tea or a coffee and they want sugar, and we don't have sugar in the house, so I just put a teaspoon or 2 of the monk fruit sugar in there, and they just don't notice the difference. Okay, we've done the veg. And the fruit and the snacks. So nuts, again, they're sold as the healthy option, but there's a lot of high carb content nuts, so almonds, cashews, chestnuts, hazelnuts to a little lesser extent, peanuts, pistachios are all right up there. Safe bet, pecans are good, coconut is good, macadamia's borderline, Brazil nuts, there's some good advantages to eating Brazil nuts, especially if you're a man. You can guess what that is, but again, in moderation, 1 or 2 at a time. Pine nuts are also kind of okay. Walnuts, if you can eat anything, walnuts, pine nuts, macadamia, and Brazils. Now, there's good news on the dairy front. Most dairy is clean and green. So butter, I use butter all the time for cooking. So I've absolutely got rid of all seed oils. because the major downside of the seed oil, like canola, vegetable oil, sunflower oil, they're all, by the time you see them in the supermarket, they're months, maybe years old, and quite rancid. So what that does is it spikes inflammation at a cellular level in your body, so it can cause all sorts of havoc. So we need to go back to what our grandparents were using back in the day. So butter, tallow, other animal fats for cooking are definitely the go. So big win if you're a blue cheese fan. It's all good. Brie's good. Cheddar's good. Basically all the different cheeses, mozzarella. I do a killer pizza base using mozzarella and almond flour, and it's it's a pretty good lifesaver when you're stuck for a hankering after a pizza. A lot of this stuff can be used for that. So your creams, heavy creams, whole milks, everything's really good. Now the red items here, so Greek yogurt, vanilla, and then Greek yogurt flavoured with honey, and then fruit yogurts are all, so these ones will have additional sugar, so the sugar or fructose from the honey basically gives you this carb content, and then also fruit yogurts, so it's not the yogurt base that's the problem. As you can see here, the plain is fine, it's the fruit, so the fruit then adds in the fructose component, so big carbohydrate, and causes all sorts of havoc with your body in terms of insulin spiking and glucose levels. Okay, on to page 2, we've got really a summary of the really bad choices. So obviously sugar of any type, brown sugar, honey is almost all sugar at the end of the day, molasses, maple syrup, agave are all off the table. Soft drinks or sodas are typically contain a whole bunch of sugar. Energy drinks likewise, sports drinks likewise, any sort of candy, chocolate bars, cereals. Now it says sweetened cereals here, but pretty much all cereals are jam-packed with carbs, which is just reconstituted sugar. Cakes, cookies, ice cream. Now what we're talking here is traditional store-bought ice cream. So there is ice cream you can make that is keto, LCHF friendly, or even carnivore friendly for that matter. So that's should have a little disclaimer there to say if you make it yourself, then it might be okay. Oatmeal, granola, condensed milk, obviously, and fruit juice is just super concentrated sugar. Typical tinned food you might buy at the supermarket. So baked beans, again the beans are not entirely the villain in the piece there. It's also the sugary sauce that it comes with, so moderation. Tuna's all good, corned beef, broths like chicken, beef is all good. Bit of sugar content in tomato soup, so bit of caution there. Likewise, cream of mushroom, chicken noodle soup. Again, check the back of the can because some will be higher carbs than others. So it depends on the type of noodle, the quantity of the noodle in the soup. So split pea again, because of the pea content, it's up there. Likewise lentil, Creamed corn, 20% sugar. Avoid that if you can. Green beans are good. Tinned peas, again, they're up there. Tin carrots, kind of it says okay there, kind of borderline. Beets or beetroot, getting up there. Diced tomatoes are fine. Beef stew, chicken and dumplings. Again, check what the dumplings are made of and how big they are, because that might push that number up significantly. Avoid your ravioli, because obviously pasta. Chicken and rice, because of the rice. Beef hash, because of the rice. And then Vienna sausages. Spam is good. I guess hot dogs, but you don't know what's in them, so I steer clear. Drinking wise, obviously water, black coffees, my go-to. Tea, green tea, herbal tea, milk, whole milk. I just have full fat milk. I don't worry about skimmed. Soy milk. Again, there's some argument about the inflammation qualities of soy. I'd avoid these. They call them milk, but they're not. They're nut juice, and nut juice doesn't sound good whatever way you look at it. Orange juice, steer clear. Apple juice, all the fruits, no good. Tomato juice, okay, yeah. Lemonade generally sweetened, so that's quite high. Unsweetened iced tea is pretty good. Sports drinks avoid. Energy drinks avoid like the plague. And then diet sodas. Now it's 0 grams of sugar, but I've put a caution there just because of other reasons, which I'll go through in a second. Now, oils and sauces are where you can trip up. They will get you. So, olive oil is good. I cook a lot in olive oil. It doesn't have the inflammatory issues that veg oil does, or seed oils do. And you just need a casual Google of seed oil, and you'll see what I mean. So veg oil, avoid. Canola, avoid like the plague. Coconut's good. Soy sauce is okay because you don't use very much of it. It's quite a high salt content. Balsamic, lots of sweetener or sugar in balsamic, so avoid that if you can. Again, it's only small quantities, so don't beat yourself up if you're partial to a little bit of balsamic. Ketchup, so the old Heinz 57, again mostly sugar, so get rid of that. Mustard's good, mayo's good, salsa's okay. Hot sauce generally, again check the back of the bottle at the nutrition panel, it'll tell you, but generally the hot sauce is very low in carbs. Worcestershire sauce, again pretty high, the sugar content, but I do love a bit of that on a mince dish. So again, you don't use bucket loads of it, so reasonably safe. Barbecue sauce, all sugar. Hoisin, all sugar. Sweet chili sauce, all sugar. Teriyaki's all sugar. Soybean paste, the miso, again very high carb content. Tahini or sesame seed paste, again avoid if you can. Ranch dressing's good. Caesar's good. Italian, borderline. Thousand Island dressing, again borderline. Tartar sauce, that's okay because you only use a tiny bit. Cocktail sauce, which is generally made up of the same stuff that's in tomato ketchup, so get rid of that. Honey mustard, clues in the name. Honey, avoid that. Blue cheese dressing's good. Soy mayonnaise is good. Chipotle and sriracha. Sriracha I add on lots of stuff. Just gives it a nice kick. So as far as hot sauces go, that's the way to go. So basically rule of thumb is eat whatever you like from the green options. Take it easy with the yellow and avoid the reds. Always check the food labels as well if it's processed. So if you walk through a supermarket these days, you can, if there's 20 aisles, then probably 18 of them you've got no business picking anything up in there, because it's all super processed, packed with carbs or sugar, and just really, really best avoided. So one thing I wanted to recap on was the sweeteners. So like I said, monk fruit is my go-to. So the stuff you find in diet sodas, like aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, they've all got suspected health problems. So they so if you research it yourself and just look at the potential danger of aspartame, for instance, it's not my business to say what to do and to not do, to drink or to not drink, because like I said, I'm not a doctor, not a dietitian or a nutritionist, and I'm just a bloke that got his stuff together a few years ago by following the stuff on this guide, and I take advice from medical professionals that are really concentrate on this stuff. I've had a range of doctors. One was very supportive and understood the low carb ethos, whereas the one or two doctors that followed her after she left the practice I go to, they were just all in on just take these drugs, take another drug. It's just they're like a big pharma sales organization, as opposed to worrying about what you ingest. And that's the whole thing. Like with the type 2 diabetes that I managed to get rid of, the bulk of the doctors don't even ask what I'm eating. They just say, well, we'll stick you on this, and it's one of the doctors said, oh, well, you turn 50 now, we should get you on a statin. And no health condition to prompt it. It was just, well, that's what you do. And he wasn't my doctor for very long. So there you go. That's my little how many carbs guide. Now to get this, I'll leave a link in the description below, and I'll see if I can, if you're on your phone, I can see it, if I can put a QR code, if I can work that out, on here to link. So if you go to carbsurvivor.com, I think that's down the bottom here somewhere, up on the top menu bar, there's a carb guide option. Take that, and then it'll take you to a page where you can feed in your first name and email address, and it will email you a copy of this. So hope you... Oh, look, hold on, did we miss that? Oh, we missed the booze, my God. Most important bit. So my theory with, like, I used to be a big drinker, but I gave it away. The absolute best option, I guess, is spirits. If you like a drink at the end of the day, Scotch was my go-to. Again, zero grams. But what I find is, once you get 2 or 3 Scotches on board, then the snack options in the fridge start to look real good. And if there's anything that's not too healthy, that'll be the first to go. So I generally, don't need the don't need the carbs, and don't need the calories, so I avoid it. But beer, you can actually get low carb beers now, so if you're a big beer drinker, then just pay attention to the label on the back. Red wine, again, moderation. White wine, champagne is all green. So the mixers will catch you out. So gin, you think, or gin's here 0 grams, but tonic will get you. Now, I had no idea that tonic water had a massive carb content. Like, it's water, but it's obviously not. So I did a whole blog post on that, which was, just blew me away. Obviously the Coke in the rum and Coke puts it up there. Again, the tonic gets you, the Coke gets you, and then half of these I wouldn't know what's in them to spike that. Bloody Mary, tomatoes juice, and vodka, I guess, so that's all good. Pina colada, I think that's pineapple juice from memory. Again, just full of sugar. So you can drink. I don't. It's a personal choice. Like, I've got no business telling you what to eat and what not to eat. I'm just letting you know what I do, because I had some pretty spectacular results. Like you say, 123 kilos, and currently hovering around high 90s, I guess. And I want to get to 85, to be quite honest. That's my ultimate goal. It's slow going, but it's consistent. And what I've also found is, if I fall off the wagon, got a grandkid's birthday party or something, and everybody's saying have a piece of cake, I might well do that, because it's you look like a right Grinch not to do that. I mean, mostly I'll decline, but I don't beat myself up. It's just get back on the horse tomorrow. Okay, well, that's it. That's a look at that carb guide. I've shown you where to download it. There should be a link in the description below. Any questions, leave it in the comments. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and then I'll have lots more content around the low carb lifestyle coming, so would be an honor if you could subscribe and keep in touch with what's going on. Okay, thank you for watching. See you later. Bye bye.